This video is sponsored by Surfshark.
Nothing quite like settling down with a nice Quinn video. Who on earth could that be?
Hi!
Hop, please don't bring your animals into my house. Oh my, disgusting. After we get that cleaned up, our journey begins as we accompany our simple friend into town to see his brother. Hop may fancy himself our rival, but we have our sights set higher on the food chain. And if this guy who unironically wears a cape every day can become champion, how hard could it really be? Soon after meeting us in town, Leon accelerates his own downfall by gifting us a starter. But we don't need this pity Pokemon, so after unlocking the surprise trade feature, we ship this meme machine out into the void where it belongs. Boing. You're someone else's problem now, Sabo. Real quick, before we get our actual starter, you are not gonna believe this, but after the massive response from you all in my Ditto video, Kevin James hit me up and he was not nice. It's never been more clear to me that we have to beat this guy to 1 million subscribers. Please help me stick it to this Hollywood elitist by clicking subscribe. Thanks. Where were we? Oh yeah, first surprise trade. Charmander. Now that is a real starter Pokemon. Eat your heart out, Gen Z. Where my Gen 1 homies at?
I ain't old like you. I ain't old.
Oh. Sad. Anyway, in our journey through the early parts of the game, we also pick up a few other Pokemon that we fire off into cyberspace. Bye, Wooloo. See you never, Squovit.
Bon voyage, Vulpix.
In return, we get a level 1 Grookey, which is pretty sweet, a level 33 Rhyhorn, and a level 25 Litwick. Those last two are fine and all, but it's gonna be a bit before we can use them, you know, level caps. Anyway, with our first few trades out of the way, we head out on our journey on a collision course with the first gym. But on our way out of Motostoke, we're stopped by Hop. This is our first real battle of the Nuzlocke, and it goes pretty well. Fuego the Charmander spits that hot fire all over Hop's Wooloo. Then we use the super sick and effective egg move Ancient Power to crush Hop's rabbit and bird. Then on the next route, we trap a raccoon and instantly send it off to the gates of Valhalla. In return, the Afterlife spits us up a level 1 Dreepy. Huh, Dragapult's pretty insane, right? Oh, doesn't evolve till level 60. Well, it'll be useful in the champion fight, I guess. From here, we head into the Galar Mine, then trade off a Timber, and we get a hacked shiny Glaceon. This is unfortunate because every time we get a hacked Pokemon, we're considering it a dead encounter. Not only that, but there's another fun rule we made up on the spot for some reason. Anytime we get a hacked shiny from a trade, we have to randomly kill off one of our Pokemon. So we roll the random number generator and say goodbye to Rhyhorn. I barely knew you, buddy. With a heavy heart, we make our way through the Galar Mine, swiftly dispatching Bede's Psychic Team with the Jaws of Fuego, then moving on to Route 4 right outside of Turffield Town. Here we catch a Diglett that we trade off for a Lurantis, a level 55 Lurantis, so not super useful as we head into the first gym. For this run, we've capped the number of Pokemon we can have on our team to be the same number as the next gym leader, which as you can see here in Milo's case is a measly 2 Pokemon. At least Grass is a super weak defensive type, so our newly evolved Fuego is more than capable of leading us to victory with some max flares. Now with our first gym badge, we move on to Route 5 where we catch a Minccino and leave me alone, your friend is gone. It would serve you well to forget about him. We send our new captive into the great beyond and receive... Wait, is that an 83% discount on Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of this video? Nice. Most of you probably don't know this, but in a past life, I worked in cybersecurity, and the things that I saw there would shock you. At any moment online, there are an unbelievable amount of people, programs, and organizations all working to steal your information for some nefarious purpose. That's why it's incredibly important to teach your data protect, which is exactly what the move tutors over at Surfshark specialize in. Their VPN encrypts your data, which helps secure your personal information from any potential threats so you can enjoy your pumpkin spice latte without worrying about that shady guy in the corner. It also includes a clean web feature which blocks trackers, phishing attempts, or any other kind of malware. And the absolute best part of Surfshark is that unlike some other VPNs out there, they don't track or store your data. So you're actually getting real protection instead of just trading one tracker for another. I strongly encourage all of you out there to take advantage of this deal while it's still available and get protected online. You can use code Quinn at the link in the description to save 83% of the regular price and get 3 extra months of Surfshark for free. If that's not enough, Surfshark also offers a 30-day 100% money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied, so you can try it out risk-free. Again, use code Quinn at the link in the description to grab this deal. Big thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Where were we? Oh yeah, Minccino trade. So in return for our new little guy, we receive a middling Pokemon at best, Sandshrew. From here, we continue on our way until... Oh, yuck. He's never too far from the scene of the crime, is he? In a fit of rage, we lash out against Hop with Charmeleon. Ember makes quick work of his Wooloo, then Ancient Power and Dragon Breath do the rest. With Hop out of the way, we do that thing where you rub your shoe in the grass to get dog poop off without touching it, then make our way into Hulbury. Curse the sea who left me lonesome. Hey, don't mean to interrupt, but I need your gym badge. But before we deal with that emotional roller coaster, we double back to Route 5 to do some training. It's here where our luck starts to change. Not in some intense battle or even really an important battle, just some random breeder steals our Sandshrew away from us much too soon. RIP. Now, with our team all on the same page about their own mortality, we head into the gym and Jesus Christ, ball guy. Where'd you learn those moves? We head in to challenge Nessa, and after taking out her lead Goldeen, we Dynamax against her Barraskewda and take it out with the Max Overgrowth. Then do the same, only 4 times effective this time against her Dreadnought. Now, after defeating Nessa and the most painfully awkward lunch with Chairman Rose, so, do you read any books?
Silence! The chairman does not like speaking.
We head into Galar Mine number 2, where we catch a Binnacle that we send to the great Pokemon box in the sky, and in return we get a Happiny. A level 62 Happiny! Useful! Not to worry though, we're still able to flush Kabu out of his hidey hole and head back to Modestoke to challenge him. On the way, we snag a Roggenrola and catapult it up to the pearly gates. This time we get stupid! As much as it pains me, we have to add this Squova to the team. Much to our dismay, our new hideous rodent is almost instantly able to prove its worth against Marnie, taking out her whole team by sitting on their faces. Then after a relaxing night in the Budew drop in, we're finally able to take on the gym leader Kabu. And since the level cap is high enough, we're able to use Litwick in this fight. Litwick's ability Flash Fire makes it immune to fire type moves, and its Ghost type makes it immune to normal type moves. So Kabu's lead Ninetales literally can't hit our little candle. The best part of all this is how funny it is to watch Kabu intensely scream at his Ninetales to use moves that do literally nothing. Obviously, Litwick is able to take Dog 1 down, then Kabu brings in Dog 2. We know it has the super effective move Bite, so we're forced to swap to Charmeleon, who finishes the dog off with an Ancient Power, then does the same with his Ace Cinescorch, but Max Rockfall this time. After clicking the 3rd gym badge into our badge circle thing, we're seen off by Galar's answer to the Spice Girls as we move through the wild area into Hammerlock and out onto Route 6. Here we catch a Helioptile and trade it off for a level 60 Blipbug. Where'd you even catch this? I don't know who you are, Tombars, but you just made the list. We park this absolutely useless boy in the box where it will remain for eternity, then arrive at Stow on Side. And after taking one whiff of the air here, we know Hop has to be close by. Looks like he might have been doing some surprise trades of his own because this time he has a whole new team. We lead with Greedent and we're able to take out his lead Cramorant, then take out Hop's Silly Snake with a Razor Leaf from Thwackey. From here we swap to Charmeleon to take out his Reboot with a couple Ancient Powers, and finally we finish his Diaper Baby with a few Embers. After the battle, Thwackey evolves into a Rillaboom and we head into the gym, cover the whole stadium with Vomit, and evolve Charmeleon into a Charizard. After a quick break to get our stomach all sorted, we head in to take on the gym leader Bia. Her lead Hitmontop can't damage our Dreepy, so we're able to take it out without any issue. Next we swap in Charizard to deal with her Pangoro. Her next Pokemon, Sirfetch'd, just barely lives through our Air Slash and clocks us with a Revenge. Not to worry, we barely survive and finish it off with a Flamethrower. Then feeling a little risky, we stay in and Dynamax against our Ace Machamp. This burly boy barely lives through a Max Airstream and gets off a Max Darkness, which thankfully doesn't finish off Fuego. So we wrap up the fight on the next turn with another Airstream. After exiting the gym, we hear the unmistakable sound of a priceless artifact being smashed to bits and have to go lay some discipline down on Bede. Unfortunately, it seems like he might be weirdly into being punished because what's normally a pretty chill fight ends up being something different. This is mainly because there's a really low level cap difference between gyms 4 and 5, so we end up having to bring a pretty scuffed squad. Turn 1, Litwick isn't quite able to take out his lead Duosion with the Hex, then expecting a heal from Bede, we keep our candle in to get some more damage. Yeah, so about that heal. It doesn't happen, and so we end up losing our lit boy to a second Psyshock. Losing his best candle friend sends our Greedent into an absolute frenzy, and it's able to finish off his Duosion, Hatchrim, and Gothorita, but all that fighting leaves it super low on HP. We try to call our squirrel back, but blinded by rage, it doesn't listen, and we end up losing our big boy to his final Pokemon, Ponyta. Oh no, we lost Greedent. So sad. Thankfully, our Dreepy's able to come in and just barely squeak out a victory. After losing 2 Pokemon, we decide to double back and grab an Arctozolt from the fossil homing, which we immediately shoot off into cyberspace. And incredibly, we get to exercise the Dupe's Claws as we get back a Charmander. In round 2, we receive a nice little Nuzleaf named Corn. We also catch an Impidimp in the Enchanted Forest that we trade off for a Yamper. After using the Leaf Stone from Turffield to evolve our Shifty Tree, we head into the gym at Balinlea and nail our audition. After stunning the judges, we're able to challenge the gym leader Opal. This gym is usually kind of a gimme since Opal gives out more stat boosts than a nun in church. What? Who writes this stuff? Anyway, this time it's no different. Her fairy squad falls to Fuego. Then we travel back to Hammerlock and follow the stench of feces out to a bridge where Hop is waiting to take us on. Charizard's easily able to take out his lead Trevenant with a flamethrower, then he brings in his Bolton, so we swap to Rillaboom. It paralyzes us, but our monkey wills its way through and takes it out with the power of Song. Next up is his Cinderace, who goes down to some ancient powers from Charizard. From here, Hop brings in his Snorlax, so we swap the Shift Tree and trade some blows until Hop heals. Then thanks to its boosted defense from Stockpile, this big guy just barely lives through our Leaf Blade and takes out Corn with a Body Slam. This is the first one I'm actually sad about. Rip Corn. Fortunately, Rillaboom cleans this round boy up, then Charizard deals with his Heatmor. With Hop out of the way, we move on and snag a Thievul, then surprise, we get a Pancham. Can't be too mad about that. We level our Panda up until it evolves, then catch a Bisharp on Route 8 that we trade off for a Butterfree with Compound Eyes. Very nice. Then we battle our way through a desert that's 15 feet away from a frozen tundra. Galar is weird. Anyway, this excursion leads us into Sirchester. And after a whole lot of this, we get a chance to take on the gym leader, Gordy. Rillaboom drops the beat on his first 3 Pokemon, then we swap around against his final Pokemon, Colossal, to stall out its Dynamax and secure the 6th badge with a couple max overgrowths. Next, we head out to Route 9 and catch a Cramorant, which trades on the open market for exactly 1 Eevee. Side note, Eevee's name in German is the most adorable thing I've seen since a Pokemon named Corn. Hey, what's up, guys? Did you know that in terms of male human... Oh, God. Am I recording? Anyway, at this point we rent a paddle boat and have a romantic solo sail through some frozen waters, then end up having to battle Marnie to get into the next gym. We leave with Butterfree, who's able to take out her lead Liepard, then she brings in her Morpeko, who goes down to a low sweep from Pangoro. But in the process, we take some pretty serious damage. Thankfully, our Panda is able to live through a Brick Break from her Scrafty after getting off a low sweep, but it's too low to risk staying in, so we swap to Butterfree, who finishes this baggy britched boy up with an Air Slash. Finally, she brings in her Toxicroak, and thinking we should be able to live 1 hit from this frog, we go for a Sleep Powder, which gets our sweet Butterfly killed. Unfortunate, but we're able to avenge our fallen bug with a couple body slams from Pangoro. Now, after heading back and grabbing the Choice Band from Route 2, being ambushed repeatedly in the mean streets of Spikemuth, and watching the most awkward concert I've ever seen, we challenge the gym leader, Pierce. Pierce specializes in dark types, and you know what destroys dark types? Choice Band boosted fighting attacks, especially from a big mean panda. So this happens. Then, as we're leaving Spikemuth, there's some kind of trouble in Hammerlock. What a blast! Thankfully, Leon is able to resolve whatever's going on in the 10 seconds it takes us to get there. Anyway, this is the part of the game where the important battles start coming in rapid fire, starting with the final gym leader, Raihan. This fight is in the dreaded doubles format, but you can just call me Woofy because our finely crafted strategy with Vaporeon and Pangoro wins us the fight without any trouble. Now with all 8 gym badges, we can move on to the final city, Winden. But before we do that, we decide to double back and grab some of the encounters we missed along the way. We get a critical catch on a very angry lobster in Turffield, then head to the daycare on Route 5 and grab the gift Toxel. We fling our lobster into the Great Beyond and get a level 65 Tyrant back from a guy named LOL. This certainly doesn't make me want to LOL. Whatever. Our next trade gets us an Eevee in exchange for our newly orphaned Toxel. No take back, sorry. From here we get yet another critical catch on a Choodle and Hulbury, which we immediately trade away for a level 21 Spritzy. Never be too mad about a fairy type. Now, after evolving our Eevee into a Jolteon, we ride the train to... Whoa. Where are we? Oh, a lazy replacement for Victory Road. Got it. Here we catch a Cubchoo, which we give away to our new friend Maddie, who sends over a Marini. Then we battle our way into the final city, Winden. Immediately as we enter, we're struck by the warmth of its citizens. Oh. He seems nice. After making a new friend, it's time for us to head into the stadium to begin the final tournament. In the first round, we face off against the Goth Princess Marnie. Pangoro deletes her Liepard and Scrafty with a couple Drain Punches, then we bring in Toxapex against her Toxicroak and set up 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. With the spikes set up, we swap the Charizard and take it out with an Air Slash. Next, she brings in her Morpeko, so we swap the Pangoro and delete it with a Drain Punch. Finally, she's down to just her ace Grimmsnarl, who is part fairy type, so we nope right out of there and bring in Toxapex. This might be the very first time that anyone has ever Dynamaxed a Toxapex, but boy does it happen. Never really noticed, but the poor guy is just hanging on by a thread in there, huh? Anyway, we stall through the Dynamax, then Marnie uses a full restore as we bring in Charizard, who almost dies to a Darkest Lariat, but the boy lives and finishes the fight with a Flamethrower. After beating Marnie, it's right into the next round, and we don't even need to check the bracket to see who we face, we can smell him from here. Pangoro punches through his double, then in his infinite wisdom, Hop sends out Snorlax against our fighting type. You could guess how that goes. Next in the ring is Hop's Corviknight, so we swap the Jolteon to take it out with a Spark. Then from here he sends in his Pincurchin, who trades blows with our Rillaboom, but goes down to a couple high horsepowers. Finally, we have a classic, hot, steamy, sweaty, slippery matchup between our two fiery boys. You've seen it before, Ancient Power on Charizard is OP. Rip Roger Rabbit and Rip Hop's chances of becoming champion. Thank God you all finally came out. I've been standing like this for hours. Anyway, at this point, there's some strange stuff with these guys and their dark sunglasses. Then Pierce organizes a flash mob in the train station, and we find ourselves at the top of Rose Tower fighting Oleana. We burn up our lead Frostlash, shock her Melodic into submission, and spit some hot water under her Salazzle. Then Fuego comes in and deals with their Serena. So I question, where is this Pokemon from? I don't think I've ever seen it outside of this battle. Anyway, now she's finally down to her last Pokemon, Garbodor, which is a hilarious ace for this lady of all people to have, but what's not hilarious is the fact that it has max Rockfall. So we have to swap Charizard out and bring in Pangoro. We live through the max Rockfall, then Dynamax, and get outsped by a literal bag of garbage, taking a huge hit, but firing back with some big damage of our own. Only problem is, now we're poisoned. So we end our Dynamax early and swap to our newly evolved Dracloak to tank the final max hit. Despite being outsped by this garbage again, it survives and finishes this refuse with a Dragon Pulse. After that fight, we rest up at the hotel, then head back to the stadium for day 2 of the tournament.
Hey kid, listen here. The most important thing about training is to never give up.
I didn't ask, but you make a good point. With those important words echoing in our brain, we head in to challenge the surprise trainer B, who should have never come here because Charizard absolutely embarrasses his whole team. Next up we have Nessa, who should have never come here because Jolteon embarrasses her whole team. Then we face off against Bia, who should have never come here because Fuego embarrasses her whole team. And in the semifinals, we duke it out with Raihan, who should have never come here because Vaporeon— wait, no! Ugh, that really stinks. But we're able to use Rillaboom to take out his Flygon, then bring in Charizard to beat down his Turtonator and win the Dynamax showdown against his Duraludon. With that victory, we've qualified for the final round against the champion Leon. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it started like any other day. I was heading in to take on Leon, then all of a sudden, Chairman Rose came on the screen and started saying a bunch of stuff. Next thing I know, I'm with Hop in the Slumbering Weld, catching a Blipbug and trading it with a random on the internet for a Spheal. And Leon's on the phone telling us to come to the Hammerlock Stadium. And when we get up there, Chairman Rose is just standing in our way. Good thing we brought our Charizard though. He melted the chairman's hopes and dreams, and we finally found Hop's brother up top battling a literal Polygon. I don't know how that transformed into an accent, but I'm keeping it. Yeah, you could say it's been a crazy day. After dealing with Eternatus, we just have one thing left to do. But before we challenge Leon, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to evolve this Dreepy that we've been carrying since the 3rd route. Yeah, totally worth it. Anyway, we lead with Rillaboom against Leon's Aegislash, trade a Stomping Tantrum for a Flash Cannon, then finish it on the next turn. From here, he sends in his Rhyperior, who incredibly manages to live through a 4 times effective drum beating, firing back with a Mega Horn, murdering our monkey in cold blood. So we send in Walrein, who's able to clean it up with a Surf and force out Leon's Dragapult. Knowing this thing is probably going to go for a Thunderbolt, we swap the Jolteon and bite it until our Spiky Boy goes down, and we get a free swap to Pangoro to finish this ghost with a Bullet Punch. Next up is Leon's Haxorus, who does way more damage than we were expecting with an Outrage, and takes way less damage than we were expecting from our Drain Punch. It's the last battle though, so we sack the Panda, bring in Walrein, take a huge hit, and finally finish this dragon with an Ice Beam. From here we bring in Charizard to take out Leon's Rillaboom with a max Airstream, which boosts our speed for the ultimate mirror match against Leon's signature Charizard. With our boosted speed, we're able to go first and one-shot his ace with a single max Rockfall. I'd like to thank the internet for all your crappy Pokemon. I couldn't have done it without you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so that we can beat that bastard Kevin James to 1 million. Anyway, till next time.